Hey, everybody, welcome back to the next episode of the Balanced Rise podcast. Today, I have a guest with me. I know it's been a while since I've had a guest on, but today I do. And her name is Sarah Staples, and she's women's strength coach and the creator of the Thrive 365 method. So, welcome to the show, Sarah.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on. I am honored to be here.
Sure, thank you. I think you're moving right now, aren't you?
I'm what? Moving? Yeah, I'm moving from San Diego to LA at the end of May.
Oh, at the end of May. Okay. I thought it's now. So I was like, you must be super busy.
Well, it's in the motion, but I'm not actually moved yet.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right. Either way, well, thank you so much for being here today. And I wanted to talk to you because I really like what you were doing on social media and how you're helping women. To me, it's really, really empowering the way you approach strength. You are lifting some big girls' weights and and talking about the benefits of it. And all your posts are really, to me at least, very positive and very empowering. And I like the sense of like, being so like unapologetic about it. This is what really kind of what I really appreciate about you and your work. So that's the reason why I want to have you on, to help other women to get to learn about these things more.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Yeah, it was the lifting in the bikini workout, wasn't it? That was like, okay, we got to get her on. I thought about wearing a bikini, but it's like, okay, I got to tone it back a little bit.
Yeah, you had this really cool post, lifting weights in a bikini, and you have had a lot of bikini posts. That's great.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself, who you are, and what you do?
Yeah, so I am from Ireland, in case people can't tell yet by my accent. Hopefully, it's still obvious because I don't want to lose my accent. But I've moved over to California. Oh my God, like 8 years ago now. Just keeps adding on. And so I lived in Santa Barbara first and moved to San Diego. And that's when I became a personal trainer. I live with my husband and my 2 cats. And my cats are crazy. They wake me up in the middle of the night. So I'm trying to navigate that right now. But yeah, I am a strength coach. I coach women mostly. And I love strength training. I love the benefits. I love everything it's done for my life. I love everything I've seen it do for my clients and for my friends, and just any woman who has strength trained, you can kind of like see the difference from the beginning to the end. Well, there's no end, but in the process, the changes in, their body language, their what they think of themselves, their perception of themselves, their perception and their outlook on life. Like, that might sound dramatic to someone who doesn't lift, but that's exactly what it does. So I love promoting that and encouraging women to strength train.
So what kind of changes have you seen in your clients and in yourself as you started lifting?
Yeah, so mostly confidence, like confidence in how people present themselves, their body language, how they view themselves, like body image, like I've seen in a lot of my clients, some of them, for example, like they wouldn't get in a full body picture, they'd feel really uncomfortable taking a full body picture of themselves. And now I see them, taking pictures of themselves on the beach, like feeling confident, not talking about themselves in a negative way anymore. And I think it's mostly down to just seeing the things that your body can do, and then like you appreciate it a lot more. Like if you have these, like I think like in the society that we're in, like the biggest problem for women is body image. Yeah. That's what I've noticed from working with women, and just listen to their struggles. And when I see my clients like come in with these struggles and just not feeling happy in their body, and then like they see themselves like lifting this heavy weight and doing things that they never thought possible, then all that, you know, things that they don't like about their body kind of starts to become insignificant.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's like, yeah, I have cellulite, but I can squat 275 pounds. So, you know, fuck that cellulite, because it doesn't mean anything. Sorry, I forgot to ask, are we allowed to say the F word?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
And so those things like become insignificant. And I just think like seeing that process happen for my clients like makes my job so fulfilling. And then I feel it myself too, because it's happened to me as well.
Mm-hmm. That's so awesome. So would you say that now when they're okay with taking full body photos, it doesn't come because their bodies have just changed so much or they lost like ton of weight or gotten super lean or whatever. It comes from something else.
Yeah, it's how they see themselves for definite. Like, you know, like, yeah, they look a little different, but, you know, they didn't look bad when they first came in. It's not like, you know, your body isn't worth the full body picture from the beginning to the end. It's that they just see themselves in a different way and feel, you know, appreciate what they have more. I think appreciate what their body can do. So then they see it, just they look different when they see themselves in the mirror now, you know?
Yeah, totally. I can 100% guarantee, you know, your body may or may not change, but, you know, like from the outside, usually it does a little bit, just like you said. But the biggest power I feel like comes from, hey, look what I just did. This is so awesome. And just the sense of accomplishment.
Yeah.
That's a big
I
one.
think like you probably know when you hit a PR, like it's like the rest of the day, like you feel amazing, and it's just like you feel like you can take over the whole world and nobody can like bring you down. You know, it's like that feeling of like, oh my God, I just lifted that heavy weight. Like I can do anything. And that like, you know, carries on from the decisions you make for the rest of the week.
That's very true. So you mentioned body image. Have you ever struggled with that yourself too?
Yeah, definitely. Like years ago, like I always wanted just to be smaller. Like my goals have completely changed. I just wanted to be skinny. I just wanted to be small. I just wanted to weigh less on the scale, and I would do anything to like, you know, get smaller. I would like not eat. I would just like be hungry, go to bed hungry, and like that. Like I didn't look at myself in the mirror the way I do now. You know, I like would just pick myself apart, like felt really uncomfortable in a bikini, and just like didn't appreciate what I had. You know, it was just like get small, get skinny, only eat salads. And it was just like not a good mindset to be in, you know?
Totally. Yeah, the salads, it's so funny. I feel like so many women think that that's the only option, you know. Whenever you go out to eat, you only have to have a salad. I'm like, no, you don't. You don't have to eat just salads.
Yeah. And like I don't even like salads now. Like I'll have like one here and there, but rarely ever. It's just like you don't have to eat stuff you don't like eating, you know. And I know you coach your clients about that a lot as well. Like one thing I was really impressed with about you is how you can get was it 150 or 160 grams of protein with no supplements. That's quite an achievement.
It's doable.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so when you were doing all those things, you know, you went to bed hungry and you wanted to get smaller and get on scale. I'm guessing that your training was quite a bit different too than what it is today. What was it like?
So I used to do a lot of running. I would get up early before work when I worked like in an office job, and I would run like 4 to 5 miles every morning. Then I would go to work, you know, eat my salads at lunch, and then in the evening I would go to the gym. I would usually not go above 10-pound dumbbells.
Right.
And then I would go on the, you know, like the cross trainer.
Yeah.
Elliptical. I would go on that for like 30 minutes because I was like convinced that that would build muscle because there's like some resistance in it, you know?
I see.
Oh, I'm like, feel so sad for myself talking about it. But yeah, was my schedule. And I would usually like not take any rest days.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I thought to myself, the more exercise I do, the better I'll look.
Mm-hmm.
But that was not true. You know, we both know that now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. So you were a big fan of rest days, and I want to come back to that too. But how long did this period last for you when you did a lot of running, the elliptical, little bit of weights here and there, but being hungry, all that kind of stuff?
I would say like maybe like 7 years or so. Like I started going to the gym with my mom when I was maybe 17, but all we would do is the machines, you know, because like I was way too intimidated by the weight section, and I just thought if I pick up a weight, I'll turn into a man, you know, and
Yes.
I'll grow like this massive muscle.
Mm.
And so I like stayed on the machines whenever I went with my mom. And then when I moved to California, like I was in a bikini a lot more. So I was like, well, I want to get toned now. I better like pick up a weight, but not too big of a weight, because then I'll still get too muscular. You know, I still taught that. But I was like, I want to tone. So I pick up the 10-pound weights.
Right.
So it was like a long time. Like, you know, I started when I was 17, and then I really only started like properly progressive overloading like maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Every time when somebody says that you turn into like a superman or like really muscular and you put on a ton of muscle, I'm like, do you even know how much work it takes to put on 1 pound of muscle? It takes a lot of work. And I wish it was so easy that you just wake up with like tons of muscle. I would not mind that at all, but it's just not the case.
I wish. Yeah. Like I have never met a woman who has said, I've gained too much muscle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, like someone who actually does strength training consistently. I've never heard them complain, I've got too much muscle now, I need to like cut back, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like not an issue once you start lifting.
Right. Yes. I remember I've had one person ever tell me that. And she said that, I was a gymnast growing up and I did like a lot of upper body stuff. And I just feel like my shoulders are way too broad and my arms are way too muscular. And I'm like, give me those issues.
Yes, please.
Let's talk about rest days. So I know you are a big proponent of rest days. How many rest days do you take and what do you do in the rest days?
So I train maximum 4 days a week, sometimes 3. So I'll take how many days are left in the week? 4 or 3?
3, 4. Yeah.
3 to 4 rest days a week, just depending on how I'm feeling. Like a lot of times the week before my period, I'm exhausted. So I'll honor that. Like I'm not going to push through and then feel more exhausted. Mm-hmm. I'll usually do 3 days of training, but then once after my period is when I feel my strongest. So I'll do 4 days, and take 1 less rest day. Mm-hmm. Okay. But yeah, I really like before when I was doing all the cardio and 10-pound weights, like I was such in the mindset of no rest days because I'll lose all the work. But now I know that rest days make you stronger. You know, rest days are going to let your body recover so you can go, you know, you can push yourself more on the next day you train. Mm-hmm. It's also going to decrease your crazy hunger cravings. Yeah. You know, like I don't get insane, like I'm hungry like a lot of times, but I'm not like, you know, insane hunger all day long where I can't get full. Mm-hmm. Because I know if I do get like that, I'm doing too much. Mm-hmm. You know? Yeah. So like it's just a way better quality of life taking rest days. And you're also going to gain more muscle by doing it, you know, exactly. In the long run.
So what do you, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So on my rest days, I walk every day, like I try to get out in the morning, do a morning walk for like 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes max. And then I'll walk again in the evening when I'm finished my work day. So mostly just walking. I do like spending time in nature. So I'll do like a hike sometimes, but I haven't been as consistent with that just because I've been lifting more. So like maybe a hike once or twice a month. But yeah, I've started to take my recovery a lot more seriously. Like I'll get in the jacuzzi multiple times a week and take baths. So like I don't just wait till my rest day to like start doing recovery stuff now. But yeah, mostly on rest day, just chill out and walk, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Not crazy.
It's so good that you're talking about it, because I feel we still have this society that thinks that more is better. And I feel like we can talk about it forever, but some people still don't trust it. But it is true. Like you said, your muscle needs some time to repair and heal. And this is where the growth also happens. And also you can go a little bit harder. So would you say that during the days when you do work out, three, 4 workouts a week, you go pretty hard every time? Or do you have like lighter days and heavier days?
It kind of depends how I feel. Like on a Monday after the weekend of a good rest, I will feel like going hard on a Monday. So Monday I'll probably, shoot for a PR most of the times. And then Tuesday, yeah, like on the 4 days I do go, I will push myself hard. But if it's a week where I'm exhausted, I'll pull back. I really just go by how I feel. And then I will, if I find that I'm not progressing as much as I usually do, I'll take a deload week. So I kind of assess that at the beginning of a new program, after like 4 weeks of like pushing myself. I'm like, okay, am I still progressing? Is my weight going up on the barbell? Am I feeling good? Am I feeling energized? And if all that's a yes, I won't really take a deload. But if it's a no, I'll still work out, but I'll just, won't go to failure. I'll leave like at least 5 to 10 reps in the tank,
Yeah.
So I really just judge how I feel.
Yeah, that's important too. And not only to chase the numbers and, I have to do 4 workouts a week. If, you have a week when you don't feel that way, you're more tired, why not to do just 2 workouts? It's just, I feel like we all should bring like a mix of like structure, yes, but also intuition into it, right? Yeah. What do we feel like? That matters just as much as your plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about progressive overload. You mentioned that, what it is and why is it important?
Yeah. So progressive overload is basically doing more over time. So if, for example, you can squat 100 pounds right now, and you can do 10 reps for that, then next week you aim for 105 pounds. And then the week after that, you might aim for 110 pounds, or you could do 105 pounds with 2 more reps. So it's challenging yourself as you get stronger. And it's not like making massive jumps. It's like small 1 to 2 reps, or like, 2.5, 5 to 10 pounds each week.
Yeah. And why is it important to add reps or add weight?
So it's important because it's the best way to build muscle. Like your body will adapt to what you're doing. And that's one big mistake I see women make, is picking up a weight that feels heavy and just sticking with that for like months, and like, yeah, maybe it does feel heavy, like it has some weight in it, but your body can probably do more at this stage if you're still picking up a 20-pound dumbbell for 6 months, So like, that's a big mistake I see people making, and your body adapts and then they're like, oh, I've hit a plateau where I'm not seeing changes. And it's because you're not progressively adding load onto what you're doing, onto the muscle. The muscle needs to be challenged, needs to recover, and then be challenged again, and that's why adding small increments of weight or reps, or just increasing the tension, doing different rep ranges will help your body grow more muscle and get stronger.
Yeah.
I also really think it's important because it's the safest way to get stronger. Like if you were, to make a big jump, like 100-pound jump, it like would not be safe.
Sure.
So this way you can get stronger safely, and not just that, but mentally. Because if you say like, okay, like I remember when I was trying to get like 270 pounds to squat, and like that is like a big number, and it's really intimidating for me to have that on my back. But I just tell myself, well, last week I squatted 265 pounds. It's just 5 more pounds. So if you just tell yourself it's just a tiny bit more than what I did last week, and keep doing that, adding on, then eventually you'll like be lifting a lot of weight,
Yes, your numbers are really impressive. Like 270 pounds, the back squat. That's great. So how long has it taken you to get there?
So last year I was at 200. My PR in a squat was 230 pounds. And then this year is 275 pounds. So like it doesn't just, like I want to remind people too that it's not just like as simple as adding on 5 to 10 pounds each and every week. It like doesn't always go that way. I wish it was, but if it did, we'd all be lifting like 1,000 pounds,
Yeah.
So like it definitely, sometimes it stays stagnant. Sometimes it will go up. It just depends on, your program and your training. And also we're humans. It's not like we're just, even if you do everything to a T, like you don't just keep going up and up.
Yeah, that's true. Otherwise we would all be lifting like 10,000 pounds by now.
Yeah, which would be insane.
So do you see with your clients or, friends, whoever you're talking to, that they stick with the same weight for way too long and they're kind of afraid to add weights or push themselves?
Not now as much, but because like with my clients, I'm like encouraging them to do it. But definitely, like I remember when I was going to public gyms. Now I have my studio, and the gym I train at, the glute lab is like private. But when I go to when I was going to public gyms, I'd see, you see the same kind of people there, and I could see them just doing the same weight all the time. And like I don't want to approach someone to gym, but in my head I'm like, I know you can do more than that, at this stage. Like you've been doing this for like months.
Yeah. Do you think it's fear, like lack of trust, that we can do more, or is it more like, again, the same, I'm gonna be a super manly person?
I think it's definitely a mix of that. Like maybe some people don't know the benefits of increasing it. They're like, oh, this feels heavy, so I'll just keep doing this. But they don't know the benefits of actually going up in weight over time and progressive overload. And then, I do meet some women, like new clients, who are worried that they're going to get too muscular. And then also just unsure of how to go up in weight. Like how much should they go up by,
Yeah. So would you say that you personally, you do mostly a powerlifting type of workouts? Is that true?
Yeah, so I do powerlifting and strong lifting.
Right. What exactly is strong lifting?
So strong lifting is focusing on 6 lifts.
Okay.
So it's squat, deadlift, bench, hip thrust, military press, and weighted chin up.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
you do 6 lifts.
Weighted chin ups. That's also something really super challenging, really, really hard to do for many, many women. So do you have any tips for even just for somebody who's trying to get their first chin up with no added weights?
Yeah, so there's a few things. First, you could kind of try to do banded chin ups, so band assisted chin ups. you know, even use multiple bands if you need to, like 1 or 2 bands, and just do as many reps as you can, and then try to add 1 rep on each week. Okay, that's one thing. Another thing is to do slow eccentric chin-ups, which I love. They feel torturous when you're doing them, but they really grow your chin-up strength. So with that one, you could, you know, climb or jump to the top and then count like 4 to 5 seconds coming down. So you're controlling the eccentric as you come down.
Yeah.
Another thing that's been really helping me is underhand grip pull downs. So you'll have your hands in the chin up position and pull down as if you're doing a chin up on like a cable machine or a lat pull down machine. And just go heavy for like 5 to 6 reps, as much weight as you can do for 5 to 6 reps for like 3 sets. Those have been really helping me with chin-ups anyway.
Yeah, those are all great exercises, and I feel like it's just practice, because otherwise, you know, you can do all the arm and back work, but if it's not, I mean, strength is like specific to the movement, right? So you want to do the thing that you want to get better at least, you know, part of it. You can have like accessory stuff, but also the main thing has to be there. So, okay, you are mostly like very strength focused, right? You are hitting like PRs and big numbers, and that's cool. Have you ever thought about or tried more like aesthetic or like bodybuilding type of training?
So no, I've never done bodybuilding. And I have thought about doing it like once for like 5 minutes, and then I said, no way, I'm not doing it. Because
why is that?
Because I don't want to be worrying about everything that I eat. You know, I want to enjoy my time with my friends and family, and like I don't want to be worrying about what I'm tracking. I don't want to count every single calorie. It just doesn't bring me joy, and it's not my best quality of life. You know, I don't want to be worrying about eating ice cream, things like that. And also, just with powerlifting, like it's just about getting your strongest self and not holding back. You know, I feel like with bodybuilding, you can't, like, if your body is starting to get too thick or too small, you have to change your training to suit that, you know. And I don't, that's just not, doesn't do it for me. I'd rather just keep adding weight onto the barbell. That brings me the most enjoyment, you know. So that's one thing I love about powerlifting, is it has absolutely nothing to do what you look like. Once, you know, it's about how strong you can get. You know, it's not about, no one's judging you on how you look. And I just think that women have enough self-judgment as it is. And to get up on a stage and some strangers to tell me, like, my legs need to be thicker, my legs need to be smaller. It's just like, no, I don't want to do that, you know?
Yeah, I think, you know, there's so much work that goes into it, and I really admire the people who are able to do it, but I just know that would never be me either, because, you know, like I personally, I am a macro coach. I do track my macros, but I also want to drink some wine and have some chocolate sometimes. And I hate being like hungry, and I know and I don't like cardio anymore. So I know that during some phases, especially as you're getting closer to getting up on the scale, it gets really, really dialed in and very strict, and so much sacrifice that, you know, it's not what I want to do.
Yeah, and I have some friends that do it and they love it. And you know, it's definitely for certain people and not for others. I just think that just anyone who does it needs to definitely take care of their mental health when they're doing it, and don't let all that self-judgment get too serious, you know?
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people who get into bodybuilding, they are sensitive already or a little bit insecure. I'm not saying that everybody, but some people are. And then it's almost like wanting that validation, right? Absolutely not everybody. I want to make sure that, you know, that's not what I'm saying, but there's a little bit of it. And a lot of people have admitted it, you know, that's because they got into it because they needed some kind of validation.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
It's for a certain person, you know.
right. Yeah, exactly. And so strength is also really cool because it's very, very objective. You know,
Mhm.
when you are on the scale, there, or I mean, on the stage, there's still like, okay, one judge sees you, you know, one way and the other way. You know, there's like no one way to measure. But strength is just objective. It's just pure numbers. You know, how much
Yeah,
was on your barbell?
yeah, exactly. Has nothing to do with what you look like, or if you have, you know, cellulite, or if you have like whatever. It's like, are you your strongest self, you know,
Mm-hmm.
which I
Yeah,
think is really cool.
exactly. So we talked a little bit about food. Do you have any guidelines like how you eat? Is it all intuitive? How do you do it?
Yeah, so what I try to do in my main meals is just to make sure to have like carbs, fats, and protein,
Mm-hmm.
and veggies, you know. Um, I try to just keep it simple. Like I've tracked before. I don't like doing it. I'm not saying like you shouldn't do it. Like it's definitely really helpful to a lot of people, and some people need that, you know, to enjoy other higher calorie foods so they can see what's coming in and what's coming out. But like now for me, I'm definitely pay attention to the type of foods I eat. Like I read the nutrition labels and see um how much calories and everything. But at this stage, I'm like, I know what food is like makes me feel best, you know, and I'll judge it by how I feel, how I'm looking in the mirror, you know, how my training is going, and that's been like just working really well for me. So
That's very cool. That's probably
yeah.
because you have so much experience. You know, you have tried things and you have tracked and you have found things that work for you. So you are really in tune with your body, so you can do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that like for someone who has, you know, no idea about what they're eating, like how much calories they're eating, like, oh, like, and especially for someone who's like, I can never eat any more ice cream anymore because I'm trying to lose weight. Like you can still fit all that stuff in, if you're in your calorie and macro count, you know, and or even if you do go over sometimes. I'm sure you talk about this a lot. You know, it's not like you just have to eat like salads all the time. And tracking can give some people that freedom, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely for some and not for others.
Right. Do you have like a favorite post really hard workout meal or post like PR meal when you feel like, okay, my muscles really need some fuel right now? What are some of the favorite things for you?
I definitely try to get high protein in all my meals. That's like my top priority is getting enough protein every day. Let's see, my favorite meal after. It really depends on what my husband has cooked, what's in the
Yeah.
fridge,
Yeah.
what's easily available. But I love spaghetti, like spaghetti bolognese. I love rice bowls, like with, you know, sometimes I'll have poke.
Mm-hmm. Oh, poke is so good.
Yeah, it's not in too fancy, just like whatever is easily available in the fridge.
Yeah. Did everybody listeners hear? Sarah is eating carbs.
Yes, definitely.
Right? We don't have to be a no carb, zero carb diet. No, we don't need that.
Yeah, I eat toast every single morning.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's my breakfast: toast, eggs, and 2 slices of turkey bacon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I remember I used to be afraid to eat carbs and bread, and so now it's like so like empowering for me to have 2 slices of toast every single morning.
So have you noticed that now that you are lifting more, that you can also eat more and nothing terrible happens?
Yeah, actually, great things happen because I feel recovered after my workouts. I feel, you know, energized for the next workout, and I just feel how like I have energy for the rest of the day too. And also, one thing I noticed when I started eating more was I sleep better. Like I don't wake up in the middle of the night and my body's under a lot of stress, you know, because like if you're doing so much exercise and you're not like feeding your body to recover from all that, your body is just going to be under constant stress. So you're going to feel, Well, I felt bloated. I didn't have great sleep. I was moody. You know, I had a lot of digestive issues and just wasn't like, didn't have enough energy every day. So it's like, feels amazing now to be able to push myself and feel energized every day too, you know, because I'm like eating enough food.
Exactly. This is so, so important. Oh my God. We can't get anywhere if we just keep starving ourselves, because it's like a vicious cycle, right? You starve yourself, and then at one point you probably overeat because you starved so hard. And then you just go do more cardio, and then you feel like crap again. And then you cannot sleep again and you feel bad about yourself. It's just like cycle, cycle, cycle. Versus if you actually start fueling your body and picking up some weights, and everything kind of evens out and balances. And then, of course, if the sleep is good, I mean, almost everything is good then if the sleep is good, right?
Yeah. Can't go through that vicious cycle. It's not a way to live, and it's not sustainable either. Like, how long can you do that before you end up where you have to go to make a doctor's appointment because you're, you know, just having issues with your body?
What do you do outside of your workouts and your work? What else do you like to do?
What else I like to do? I love going to the beach, which is one reason why I love living in California. Going to the beach. Sometimes I'll binge on Netflix in the evenings. I read books. I love self-help books. Been really enjoying that, and they help me sleep better at night. I love to travel and hang out with my cats and my friends and my husband. That's all I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me some of your favorite books. You said self-help books. Now I got really curious. What are you reading?
Yeah, so one that I read a few weeks ago that I thought was really good was Untamed by Glennon Doyle. Like, made me think a lot about just like the things that we picked up as we grew up, like the limiting beliefs and like the things in society, like what women are supposed to be like, how we're supposed to, you know, make people feel comfortable and not be loud and just things like that. And that, I loved that book. That was really good. Another one, I'm currently reading a James Smith book, Not a Life Coach. That has some good pointers in it. Just like, you know, life philosophy. And he does talk a lot about as well, like how, you know, we're supposed to like grow up, get married, buy a house, and prepare for retirement. And like, he talks about like, you don't have to do it that way, you know, like there's other ways to live. You don't have to live up to someone else's expectations. So those are some good eye openers. Those are probably my two favorites over the last few weeks.
Right. What was the second book? What was it called?
One is called Not a Life Coach.
Not a Life Coach.
James Smith.
Okay, cool. I'm going to write it down and put it in the show notes and on my own reading list as well. So thank you for that. Awesome. Okay, so you are a strength coach. Are you in person and then online too? Is it like half and half for you?
Yeah, so actually 70% of my client base are online now. So I am doing in person, but when I move to LA, it's going to be all online. So I have my small group training online and one-on-one coaching. And that's mostly how I coach clients right now.
Okay. And so do you help them mostly with lifting, just training, or is there anything else included in it?
Yeah, we do nutrition as well. We do like basically building on habits. So like I said earlier, you know, tracking is for some people, it's not for others. So I'll really just like talk to my client, listen to them, and, you know, assess what would work best for them. Like, for example, I have a client who, she had an eating disorder, you know, when she was 18. So I said, definitely don't want to start you tracking food, you know, wouldn't be healthy for you to do that. So instead we worked on building habits, making sure she was getting enough food, making sure she was getting, you know, carbs, fats, and proteins and veggies into each of her main meals. And then just like, usually what we'll do is every 2 weeks, we'll have a new mini goal. So like one could be getting enough protein. Another one could be making sure that she's getting enough carbs, and we'll just build on that.
Okay. Yeah, this is great. I think so too. If somebody's very like vulnerable and have had a bad experience recently with tracking, then this is not a good candidate for macro tracking or power tracking. But there are some other ways to eat well, because it doesn't have to be purely intuitive either. Because if it was, they would also go off like a very not in the right direction, right?
Yeah. Usually that's how people end up where they are, you know, or people end up overweight or underweight, because if they just do intuitive eating, like when I didn't eat enough, that's the way I thought it was supposed to be. Like, you're supposed to starve if you want to lose weight, which is like not true. So that was my intuition, was like, okay, I'll just starve myself, because then I'll be not eating enough and I'll lose weight, you know?
Yep.
It can work for some and not for others.
No, so true. Yeah, I had the same quote unquote intuition, right? Like, oh, I want to be skinny, let's not eat. And then later, you know, after I did gain quite significant amount of weight, and I was also like, I want to lose some body fat. And at first I was really afraid to say that, because first of all, it's not okay. Almost like, want to lose body fat? It was like, no, but you should be accepting yourself. I am accepting myself and still want to lose some body fat. But intuitive eating didn't help me. Right. Yeah. So my intuitive eating literally told me to eat like nuts and chocolate a lot too much. Right. And so it did take some tuning into, okay, what does it really look like to eat healthy, and have some other, you know, numbers in place and things that help, but it doesn't have to be forever. And I think it's a great learning tool, but it doesn't have to be forever.
Yeah. And I think it's like irresponsible for someone like a coach to tell a client who has no experience with, you know, nutrition to just eat intuitively.
Yeah, too. I agree with you totally. So, okay, are you currently taking on new clients if anybody's interested in working with you?
So I'm currently not taking on one-on-one clients, and my roster's full for that right now, but I do take on like one or two every month, and I will have one open in like May. So if someone wants to get on the wait list, they can just fill out an application on my website. But I do have spots open in my group coaching, which is my monthly program. It's called Tribe 365. And that's like a new training program each month. And we have like an amazing group of women on in a Facebook group. And we all, like, you know, encourage each other, hype each other up. Yeah, it's really cool in the group.
Sounds super fun. So if anybody's interested in learning more about lifting, have good, solid lifting program, then I think you are the person to go to, because you clearly know your thing really well.
Thank you so much.
How can people find you and get in touch with you?
So I have Instagram. What am I at? I changed it a while ago. It's at Sarah Staples Fit. Sarah Staples Fit. Yeah, because I was trying to get my name, like my full name, and it didn't have that. And before it had Staples Fitness, and I'm like, well, no one's gonna know my first name. Right. So now it's Sarah Staples Fit. Also I'm on Facebook, Sarah Staples, and I have a website, sarahstaplesfitness.com.
All right. I'll make sure to put all of these links in the show notes, so people can get in touch with you. So do you have one last thing that you want to tell to our audience? Some final closing words?
Oh, okay.
You were not prepared. Sorry, I should have prepared you.
Final words. Let's see. This one has to be deep. Just go lift heavy shit, and don't be afraid of getting too muscular, too strong. That's not going to happen. And just like challenge yourself. I know that you can do way more than you think you can. You know, then you're going to see yourself do things that you never thought possible, and that just has like a ripple effect on your everyday life. You know, like in the things that you do, like you'll do stuff that you're afraid to do, and you just become a person who does those things, you know. And like things in the weight room, like in the gym, they carry on to your outside life too. So it's like a big, like a lifestyle change to your daily life. So like if you're someone who's thinking about strength training, I highly recommend that you do it properly, get someone to help you doing it, and like stick with it. Like it might suck at the beginning, but like it will pay off if you do it consistently.
Exactly. I feel like everything worth having comes with a little bit of struggle at first. So that's natural. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Something new is always like uncomfortable, and but that's where you grow.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you so much again, Sarah, for being here today. I really appreciate all the work that you're doing, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much for having me on, Kristen.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.